What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So Vancouver Pro men's open bodybuilding results are now out. And as predicted after the prejudging, John Jewett wins his first open pro show and is going to the Olympia in October. So the scorecards are out as well. And it seems like it was a clear-cut victory of John Jewett over Budesheim. He was clearly leading both after the prejudging as well as at the finals. So both these guys had incredible hardness. Both these guys were absolutely peeled. But John has better shape than Budesheim. So John made a big statement tonight, as I'm sure some of you guys already know, that he educates the masses in professional bodybuilding about every aspect of competitive sport. The off-season, the contest prep, the peak week. The guy is very transparent. And the thing is, he practices what he preaches. So I don't remember a single show where John was off in terms of his peak, in terms of his conditioning. And that is what makes him so dangerous. And that is why I kept on saying before the show that he is the favorite to win this show. So he has put on plenty of size in this off-season, which was very visible at Toronto as well. Plus it was even more visible here at Van Pro. So a huge congratulations to John for earning this win, and also the Olympia qualification, as this was his last show of the year. Regardless of his placings, he said that he's going to shut the season down. But now we will get to see him one more time this year at the Olympia stage. So it's safe to say that that was a very successful transition from the 212 into the men's open bodybuilding. And he absolutely proved it right here, that he belongs in the men's open.
We did it, everybody. First place, won the Vancouver Pro, we're going to Olympia. We are going to go celebrate. Thank you all so much for all the support and cheering me on. We did it.
So it was arguably the best Budesheim ever. And I'm glad that the judges finally saw him as a top contender. So let's applaud him for bringing an insane level of conditioning in 4 shows back-to-back this season. And finally, he was able to make top 2 here. And I'm sure this is going to motivate him even more to bring an even better package at this upcoming Chicago Pro, which is happening next weekend. And as I have mentioned previously as well, that this is exactly what Tim needs to do. Keep showing up, and maybe he can finally get his first pro win in one of these shows. So the level of muscularity on Budesheim this year is just on a whole different level. The only thing that is holding him back is that he doesn't have a very great V-taper, especially from the front, and his lats aren't wide enough, especially in comparison to other guys. But other than that, he looks absolutely crazy. So as of right now, we're not exactly sure who's gonna show up at Chicago Pro. But as of right now, it seems like that Budesheim is the favorite to win that show. So a great showing by Robin Strand here again. 3rd place here in Van Pro. He was 4th in Toronto. So he was able to beat Tim in Toronto, where Tim was 5th and Robin was 4th. Which is another thing indicating that the judges really love this package from Budesheim. So Robin keeps on getting better and better, and is clearly a lot bigger than last year. And he is another one of those guys who is absolutely peeled out of his mind every single time. His conditioning is absolutely ridiculous. So Hossein Kalati was 4th, and Beef Stew was 5th. So Stew was a big disappointment here, and he has made a statement after Van Pro. So we already know that he isn't doing Chicago Pro. And that was his stance even before the show, that no matter what happens, he's gonna shut the season down. And sadly, I have to say this physique was the worst version of Beef Stew so far this year. He was absolutely amazing in New York Pro, and then he started to go downhill. So it makes total sense that he isn't doing any more shows this year. Because at this point, he is both mentally and physically tired. His body is beat up, and it isn't responding the way he wants it to. So the biggest shocker here tonight at Van Pro, that was Stanal, who was 2nd at the same show last year. So he placed 8th, which might be one of the worst placings he got so far in the men's open bodybuilding career. So maybe they overdid it to a point where Stan lost a bit of size and fullness, because there is no denying the fact that he looked small and outmuscled here in Van Pro, and that too by a lot of guys up there. So he was in a phenomenal condition, no doubt. But the thing is, so was John, so was Budesheim, and also some other guys who were able to beat him here, but they were also a lot bigger than him. So Stan too issued a statement confirming that he's doing Chicago Pro next weekend, aiming to do a lot better, and hoping to bring a much better package next time. So as of right now, do we know any other big names that are doing this year's Chicago Pro? So one former Olympian, Vlad, is doing it, and if he's able to bring that look, the look that we are seeing right now on his Instagram, then he is definitely a guy to look forward to. His conditioning looks absolutely insane. And the thing is, the man carries a lot of muscle. He also has that insane freak factor, and if there is no guy out there with a shape advantage over Vlad in Chicago, he can win this thing and punch his Olympia ticket for the second time in his career. So Vlad has beaten Tim Budesheim before. Plus, Vlad is a guy who is insanely muscular, and his biggest strength, that is his freak factor, just like I mentioned earlier. So this has been a difficult prep for Vlad because he had a torn tricep in February, and he recovered from that really damn fast. I mean, it's only July, and he was able to get ready for this show in such a short period of time. Because even though he had to go through that recovery period for a few months, but still a huge shout out to him for his dedication, and we are gonna see him on the stage in just 1 week. So I have to say, even if we look at some of his updates, and how he was looking when he was about 2 weeks out of the show, or a little more than 2 weeks out, he looked so ready. So he's most likely gonna be a top guy for Chicago Pro. Another guy who is confirmed for this year's Chicago Pro, that is Shaman Yan, who is one of the best from China. So the shortest guy on the stage, but pound for pound, he is arguably one of the most muscular guy. So Shaman Yan or Yang Lian, he looked really great in all the shows that he did last year, especially at Flex Pro Italy, where he was able to beat names like Tim Budesheim and Blessing Avodibu. So back then he was working with Chris Aceto. So I hope he's still working with Chris, because he was able to help him achieve the best conditioning of his career. And he has been able to bring so many great looks on the stage with the help of Chris Aceto. So I think the only reason he did not place higher in some of these shows last year, that is because of his height. Because the thing is, he isn't really missing any body parts. He's very complete. He has built an insane amount of muscle density. Plus he also has amazing muscle maturity as well. And he has packed on a tons of mass since he turned pro, especially for his height. And even with that much amount of mass on that kind of frame, the thing is, he doesn't look blocky. Especially when he is in the shot. When he's hitting the pose, he looks really good. So the last update that we saw from Shaman, that was when he was 4 weeks out. So we will see how he shows up here, and whether he can win his first pro show in the Men's Open. So another guy who was rumored to do this year's Chicago Pro, that was Muhammad Fada. So it's not likely at this point that he's doing it. So only him and his coach know the reason why they keep on skipping all these shows. Because supposedly if Fada was here competing in Van Pro, who was gonna be able to beat him here? I mean, looking at the lineup, he probably would have walked all over the competition. So every now and then he keeps on posting his updates, and the whole bodybuilding world is blown away by his amazing shape, his symmetry, his flow, and the kind of conditioning that he's holding right now. So he's not doing Dubai Pro either. So we will keep on guessing what show he's doing next. Because sooner or later he's gonna have to pick a show, because there are only a handful of shows left to earn this year's Miss Olympia qualification. So the other results to discuss here is that Carrot Badger won the Atlanta Pro, and he makes it to the Olympia stage for the 212 class. Now Carrot has the right to make a statement that he can bring better condition than both Sean Carrida and Kjell Pearson, and can really give them a run for their money. I mean, he's already a top Olympian, and is placing at the big show. They have been improving in the last 2 years. So anyone who has placed as high as top 4 in the world, they are certainly a contender for the title. So Carrot Badger has been in prep for a long time, and that might impact him on the Olympia stage too. But we will see how that goes, because we are now at 12 weeks out from this year's big show. So Carrot Badger will be right back on the plan in just a couple of more weeks. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.